Hi and welcome back to The Books Are Everywhere. Today I'm here to introduce a very exciting vlog that we are going to be carrying on for the next 24 days. Yes, 24 days. It is to introduce my vlog for A Heart for Christmas by Sophie Jomain. I did talk a little bit about this at the start of the month in my very first Vlogmas video, and hopefully, all being well, it is now Christmas Eve or Christmas Day when I'm posting this video. That is the plan. So if you're watching this on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, Merry Christmas if you do celebrate, and I hope you're having a lovely day regardless of whether you celebrate. But today we're here to talk about A Heart for Christmas, which I am so excited to get started with. You've probably also seen me mentioning this in other videos throughout December, because when I post this it should be the end of December, as I said, all being well. But yeah, in my land, in my reality right now, it is December 1st and we are about to start A Heart for Christmas by Sophie Jomain, which is an advent calendar romance. I am so excited for this. So the idea of this book is that we have 24 bound up chapters in this book. They're all numbered. We're going to read them in order. They're sealed right now, so I need to find like a ruler or a knife or something, take it to the edge of this book every day to open like that. I will try and video this when I do it for day one, but I need to open it and then read the chapter. I don't know how many pages each chapter is without having a little glance. I think the first one is only like 13 or 14, maybe 15 pages. Yeah, something like that. Just glancing, I think it ends on page 16 or 17. So hopefully it shouldn't take me too long to read. This is the like demonstration of how you do it. So you need to take like a ruler or something to the edge of the paper and open it up. So it says, open a sealed chapter every day and discover the next chapter in this Christmas story set in a ski resort in the French Alps. Make sure you have a letter opener or ruler and a hot chocolate by your side. I even have squirty cream for this. I will definitely be making a hot chocolate at some point to read this. But yeah, I better tell you what this is about, because although I've talked about it in other videos, I have not so far today in this video. So this says on the back, 1 month to make my heart beat. When 18-year-old April heads to the foothills of Mount Blanc to spend Christmas at her father's chalet, she is looking for change after a long illness. Among the swirling snow and festive cheer, she reconnects with her best friend's handsome, daring older brother, Augustin. As romance sparks, she decides she's not going to let her life pass her by any longer. Is April's heart ready for a Christmas miracle? Open a new chapter each day with this swoony advent romance to fall in love with. Very excited for this, and my plan is to just read the chapters every day and check in with you, even just briefly, to tell you what I think of the book so far. I'm hoping this won't get like repetitive and boring to hear me talk about like one chapter every day, like one chapter per clip. We will see how it goes, but I just thought it would be really fun to like check in with you on the way. So yeah, I am going to read the first chapter of this book and then I will check in with you to tell you how I found it. Hello and welcome to day 2 of reading A Heart for Christmas. I read the first chapter last night and I am now 17 pages in. I think we start on page like 5 though, so yeah, it's only actually 12 pages long. But yeah, I liked the start. It feels very YA, but I don't mind that actually. And I also like how we have like texts and stuff, which is quite cool. I feel like this is going to be a very quick read, but also a very slow read, because you know we're forced to read it over 21 days, which is very interesting. I like the atmosphere so far. All we really know is that our main character, I've already forgotten her name, April. It's even discussed like why she's called April. Like her name is discussed in the first chapter, so that's bad that I've already forgotten. But anyway, the only thing that really happens in the first chapter is that she's travelling with her mom to be dropped at her dad's for Christmas, and her dad lives in like an old chalet, and I think they're gonna go skiing, and that's kind of all that's really discussed. She also talks, like it's already introduced, that she had a heart transplant, I think it's a transplant, a year ago. Yeah, so she had a transplant a year ago when she was 16 or 17. So she's now 18, and yeah, she's going to stay with her dad for Christmas. And that's really, yeah, all we know, but I like the vibe so far. And I'm intrigued to see what day 2 brings. I'm going to try and do this on camera. This is quite fiddly to do because you have to get it like bang in the middle of it. So I'm going to try. But actually, because the edges of the pages are serrated, it's once you get going, oh, I really messed that up. Okay. Once you get going, it's not too bad. Yeah, I cannot do this with one hand. Well, it makes quite a satisfying sound though. You do have to make sure that you get every single page. Kind of do them one by one. And there is the page that I did not do so hot on. Oh, it's like the last page as well. The serrated edge on that just, yeah, it's not great now, which is a real shame. I had a feeling that the edges would get a bit like messed up like that. And it's just such a shame when the gold is like on the top and the bottom to then end up with like a really rough edge that's gonna probably look quite messy is a bit of a shame, but I guess it's all part of the gimmick. Also, I gotta say, the gold, because it's a proper like metallic, it's not like a sprayed edge. I don't know what this is called, but it's actually like metally. Good word. When you turn the pages, because it's sprayed onto the bottom, it actually feels like it could cut you. I hope that doesn't happen throughout this book. But anyway, so I can already see some text throughout chapter 2. There's a few pages on as well. This goes up to page 33. There we go. So yeah, we only have like 12 pages to read again. I think these chapters are going to be very short, which does make it really accessible, so I quite like that. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to go and read the next chapter. I did time this last night and it took me 7 minutes to read the first chapter. I imagine that this is going to be very similar. I'll just put my ruler in there as a bookmark for now. The ruler definitely is a good choice, a good way of like splitting the pages apart. But yeah, I'm probably going to set my timer up again and see how long it takes me to read this one, which is part of another video that you've already seen actually, because I'm filming my 1 hour reading vlog. 1 hour a day reading vlog at the same time, which came out at the start of the month. Obviously it's Christmas now, as I keep forgetting, because for me in real life it's the start of December. But anyway, I'm gonna go rambly today, and I will check in with you once I've read chapter 2. Well, this is gonna be interesting. I've just finished chapter 2 and it read a lot younger than the first chapter. There is a lot of exclamation marks, and that's a silly thing to notice, but I feel like it's something that is much more prevalent in books for younger people, and not for adults. And I know this is YA, but I also don't think it's that common in YA to have this many exclamation marks. And it makes our main character April sound really young. So for example, we can decorate the tree instead, exclamation mark. She also talked to herself at one point, or like mentioned herself in her own head. Yeah, you are such a klutz, April Hammond. Exclamation mark. And there was a conversation between her and the love interest, and we've met him for the first time. And the dialogue was so weird. Like, it did not flow very naturally at all. So I feel like I'm gonna have to suspend my, not disbelief, but like suspend any critical judgment on the writing of this to enjoy this. And that sounds really harsh, but it kind of read like fan fiction for that chapter. I won't lie if I'm being like really harsh. And it did read like quite young, so I'm hoping that that doesn't make the romance feel weird if it gets like physical. She's 18. She does not read like an 18-year-old at all. So yeah, well, it's going to be interesting to see like how this goes on. I definitely still think I'm going to enjoy it just for the experience and for the idea of this book. I did also not find out, but I did add this to my Goodreads, and I think this is translated from, I'm gonna say from French. There's not actually like a bio about the author in this copy, but there is, it does say translation. Yeah, text and illustration copyright is in France, first published in France in 2023. So I'm going to say that this is translated from French. And I'm not sure as well if like the dialogue and the exclamation marks and things like that is partly a translation issue. I am not quite sure. This is going to be a roller coaster of a month, everybody, while we make our way through this, because I don't know how I'm going to feel about this. It's going to be a really interesting one to review because I've read nothing like this ever. Not in this way, obviously, of doing like a chapter a day for 24 days for Advent. So this is going to be a really intriguing one to see how it goes on. I don't think we have that many pages for tomorrow. I get the sense that this is going to be very similar every single day. So yeah, we start on page 37 and end on 49, so yeah, another 12 pages. So I will see you tomorrow for those pages and we'll see how this goes. We're on day 4, guys, and I didn't update you about day 3 yet, so I don't think, because I read day 3 last night. I gotta say, this book is still not great so far. I feel like my thoughts haven't really changed. Like, again, the dialogue was just really questionable. It felt really childish. One thing I did in day 3 was I read some reviews for this book, and they are not good. Part of me wishes that I had read them before buying it, but also I think like some people still read the reviews beforehand, knew that it had like bad reviews and bought it anyway and read it anyway because they just want the like experience of doing it. I don't know if I'd have maybe bought it anyway, but I'd have probably considered what I was gonna do, because yeah, the reviews are not great. And they say things that I've already picked up on, like the writing isn't great, it feels really childish, the dialogue feels really unnatural and childish, and basically the characters just act a lot younger than they are. There's insta-love, just a lot of things that I've already picked up on a couple of days in. But anyway, we push on. We go to day 4, which means 20 to go after this, which is crazy. Yeah, so I will update you. I'm toying between like, do I update you guys every day? But I feel like if I don't, what's the point of the vlog? I feel like if I do, you're gonna hear the same thing from me every single day. So I don't know. We'll see how I go. Right now I think I will still continue to update you every day because that's kind of the gimmick. And also, if I suffer through this, you have to suffer through this with me. And I will try and make it entertaining along the way. Definitely going to include some of the like Goodreads reviews I found for this in this vlog because they just some of them made me laugh so much. So maybe towards Christmas we'll do a 12 days of reviews for this, because that would just be hilarious. Like starting on day 12 and finishing on 24, or starting on day 13, or whatever works that out that way. Because there's some real bangers out there. But yeah, so I'm gonna read day 4 and catch up with you probably today, because it's actually still quite early in the day for a change. Possibly tomorrow, we'll see how I feel. But yeah, day 4, here we come. 12 pages, I imagine, probably. Hello, it is day 6 of reading A Heart for Christmas, and I've actually forgotten how, like, when I last updated you. I definitely haven't updated you on day 6. I'm pretty sure I haven't updated you on day 5 either, but I'm sure I have updated you on day 4. I just can't find the clip right now, but I'm sure I did. Anyway, I think I have 2 days to update you on, so yesterday and today. To be honest, I don't really have like much to add about my thoughts, which is why I'm not too like worried about the fact I have to do 2. I think I'm getting used to it. I don't think that's a good thing. I don't think that's a positive like comment for the book or anything. I think the fact I'm getting used to it is just, now I've read a few days and I know what to expect. I'm just kind of like, the stuff that the bad writing and the dialogue isn't surprising me anymore, so when I come across it I'm like, that's just what the writing's like. So yeah, still not great. It's very insta-lovey, like I can completely see the two of them just falling in love, and there just doesn't seem to be any character development between them at all. I guess at least the saving grace is here that she actually does know him. It's not like she's a new person, like she's falling for her best friend's older brother. So it's not like it's complete insta-love in terms of like he's not a new person completely in her life, like she does know him. I like the atmosphere of it, like if I wanted to try and find something nice to say. The fact it's obviously set in this kind of like ski resort, kind of snowy mountains and things like that, like that's nice. I can't say it feels that Christmassy so far actually. I hadn't really thought about it, but like they decorated a tree, but there's not been like that much Christmas stuff, I guess. It's more just like snowy. But yeah, I don't feel like I really have that much to add, to be honest. I can't say like anything big has happened that's like surprised me or anything. When the chapters are so short as well, like they're only 12 pages a day, there's not really that much to like say. We have reached page 100 though, so that's exciting. So yeah, day 7 tomorrow, and I will try and remember to update you on day 7 like tomorrow, but I don't think it's the end of the world if I update you on 2 days in one go, to be honest. Like, I really don't have a lot to tell you right now, and unless I'm literally telling you what's happening in the book, I don't really want to do that, so I guess I will I'll let you know tomorrow. Hi everyone. Have I read 1 or 2 days since I last saw you? I think I've only read 1. I think I updated you on Saturday, and now it's Monday and I haven't read today's pages yet, so I think I've only read 1, which would be Sunday the 7th. It is now Monday the 8th, and as I said, I have not read today's pages yet, so I guess I'm just updating you on yesterday's pages. I wish I had more to say. I really don't have a lot to say. This is very similar to how it's been the whole time, and is it yesterday when we had like the mum and dad visit and there was a bit of a kerfuffle. That was a bit childish. I feel like we know what we're dealing with here now. And there's not really that much I can add to that. Like, we know that she's quite childish in the way she speaks, things like that. So yeah, I don't know. I will read day 8 and see if there's anything more I have to say to you. I've had a more festive evening this evening because I have wrapped some presents for the first time this year. I just thought I should probably start at some point. I actually quite like doing my wrapping all in one go. I don't know. I'm torn between doing like a little bit of wrapping a day and doing it all in one go because I don't know, I like having like a Christmas show or movie on or something and then just doing loads of wrapping, but it gets so tedious. I only wrap like 4 things or 5 things and it just gets so tedious. And I have so much more to do. So I did my Christmas shopping really early this year and I feel really organised in terms of that. But wrapping, I do not feel organised at all. And I'm becoming quite aware that I'm going to be seeing people like this week, next week for the last time before Christmas, and I need to get their stuff over to them like sooner rather than later, which means I need to get it wrapped. So anyway, I have gone off on a tangent, but maybe that's not a bad thing with this vlog because there's only so much I have to say about this book. Yeah, I should probably just get to reading today's pages. I don't know what this bit of hair is doing, but it's here with us. I have backache today as well. I don't know why. I think I slept funny last night, and I just, you know, when you just wake up and yeah, I have backache, and I think wrapping presents has probably not been a great idea, like the way I've just been hunched over on the floor. Anyway, I said anyway way too many times there. just gonna go and read these pages, guys. Okay, that was the weirdest chapter I've read so far. I don't know what to say, honestly. For one, 11 pages rather than 12. We end on this side rather than this side, so there's this random illustration that made me think it was like part 1 of the book was over or something meaningful, whereas in reality I just realised that we have an uneven amount of pages in this chapter and we've not had that before. But the weirdness only started there, like it did not stop there. Whole chapter was just so strange, such weird conversations between people. So, I mean, I feel like I've already said in this vlog that this is probably going to contain spoilers for this book. I imagine that I'm not going to be convincing many people to read it with my discussions. But just, there's just so many weird things. For one, she went to this party and was offered a Coke Zero. That threw me. Like, I'm not saying that she's like I'm expecting her to drink or whatever. The drinking age in France is like 16, so I guess it was surprising that she wasn't offered a drink, and that was part of the book. Like if she didn't want to drink, then that conversation could have been triggered. But the fact that she walked in and somebody was like, "Make yourself at home, can I get you a Coke Zero?" That's so weirdly specific. Not a Coke Zero. That's what threw me. I just find that really strange. Like, can I get you a drink would have been fine. Anyway, really picking holes, but I don't know, that just really threw me. This was an odd line. This guy was like, "Look, I made an effort, do you like it?" He has an unironed white shirt on, so she replies, "White's always a good choice." Who says that? Who? Anyway, the same guy then starts hitting on her, but by hitting on her, I mean she sits down like next to him or near him, and he pulls out his phone, immediately takes a selfie, and then makes the comment, "Sorry, it's from my album of pretty girls." I get that this whole conversation is here for a reason, and one is here as a plot device, which I'll get to in a sec, but it's also here for like her to have this conversation with a creepy guy. To be honest, it's probably here more for the plot device than representing a creepy guy. But not only is he creepy, it's just really odd behaviour. Like, there could have been a way of writing this that would have come across like more natural. He could have just the rest of the things he does, he comes on too strong, is too overly familiar with her, touchy really with her and things like that. You know, is kind of normal, not normal. Normal is a horrible way of describing that. I don't know how else to say it though. It's a common, I guess, way of being a bit creepy and sleazy with girls. But the way he reacts is just so strange. Like, that, they're taking a photo with her, like taking a selfie with her, and then apparently has loads of photos with people on his phone. I just find that so weird. And it was just a very odd like way of starting that conversation. And then all of this led to the first conversation that she has with I cannot remember his name. Augustin. It's the first like proper conversation she has with Augustin where they start kind of saying like, "Oh, do you like me? Oh, I like you," things like that. Like, he kind of admits that he likes her. That conversation was also really odd. Like, there is there's been hardly anything between these two. I get that he's overprotective of her and she thinks that's cute or whatever. And I get that they've like spent more time together than they expected to on this holiday when she's back for Christmas. But other than that, like, they've barely said 3 words to each other in like 100 odd pages of the book I'm at so far. They've really like barely spoken, and then they just start having this conversation where they're like, I can't like you because you're my best friend's brother and you don't even like me anyway. And then he's like, well, what if I do? What if I have a crush on you? The whole thing just comes off as so sudden. Like, I know this is insta-lovey, but that is, yeah, very, very insta-lovey. Anyway, so today's pages really threw a curveball. Just very, very odd behaviour from everybody involved. Also the fact that there's 2 characters, one called Jeff and one called Jimmy, and I think Jeff is the creepy one and Jimmy is the one that her best friend is into. But they're too similar. None of these characters have character building. They are all so flat. I could not tell you what any of them looked like, apart from the fact that Jeff was wearing an unironed white shirt and she said white's always a good choice. There's just no characterization for any of them, so me trying to tell the difference between Jimmy and Jeff is a hopeless cause, because I will never be able to. So there we go, that's day 8, guys. Aren't we looking forward to day 9? I feel like I did not update you yesterday on this book, and I have read another day, so it is time to update you on days 9 and 10 together. I think the reason I didn't update you yesterday is because I really just did not feel like I had a lot to say. It definitely feels like we're just following this pattern now. Every day is kind of the same, and it's just insta-love between these 2 characters, and there's nothing really stands out. Today, again, we had 11 pages, that was interesting. But also we meet her friend Eve for the first time, so the whole premise of this book is that she is falling for her best friend's older brother, but for, well, the first, like, nearly half of this book, the best friend is not actually there and she's not come home for Christmas yet. So on page like 100 and something, we actually meet this friend for the first time. It's like page 149, it's nearly 150 pages. We meet this friend for the very first time, and my first impression of their interactions is that they literally act like children. But the thing that was weird about this chapter is we saw them interacting for the first time. They were playing around in the snow, building snow people, like building snowmen. Like, it was cute. I could see how it could be, you know, fun as an adult as well. That's not the thing that made it inherently a childish scene, but it was just the way that they bantered with each other, spoke to each other. There were, again, so many unnecessary exclamation marks. The weird part of it, though, is that it threw in some really adult humour. I was like, is this the author's attempt to make them seem older? Because it still does not help. Like, it still makes it seem like they're children joking about things they shouldn't be joking about. It reads really strangely in my opinion. So yeah, that's my takeaway from day 10, to be honest, is the fact that they are joking about these like adult things, and I'm like, why are you saying these things? You are children. Obviously they're not, but in my head they are. And that's probably the most standout thing I have to say until tomorrow. I don't think I've updated. I honestly am really losing track with this vlog and when I last updated you guys. But I'm about to start pages day 13. I probably need to give you an update after chapter 13, because even though I only read this last night, I'm like, I just don't really have anything to say on it. There was a conversation between our main character and the love interest that I was just like, really? In terms of, they were like, don't you feel this chemistry between us? That kind of conversation, even though they literally have not spoken for most of this book. And at least we're getting somewhere with that, I guess. Like, we are like halfway through now. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna read pages 13. You know what I mean, day 13. That's the word I'm looking for. It's early. And I'll get back to you. Okay, I have read day 13 and I can't believe I forgot this like thing that happened at the end of day 12. Also, if you can hear my washing machine, just ignore it, I'm sorry. Yeah, a massive thing happened at the end of day 12 and I can't believe I forgot about that. When they like confessed their feelings for each other, there was also this really questionable thing that we found out that he did. It's fucked. I mean, I'm gonna have to talk about it because I said this is gonna contain spoilers, but like, this is a big spoiler. Basically, when he was like 19, I'm gonna guess not much before this book, his sister Eva, who is her best friend, told April, the main character, that her brother, who she's interested in, this sounded like a messy, like, I don't know, I was gonna say rom-com. I don't know. But anyway, so the brother slept with a girl who was 17 at a party when he was drunk, and then she tried to commit suicide like 2 weeks later. There's so many things in this book that I'm like, why are you including it? Like, why does April have this heart operation thing? It feels crowbarred in a lot of the time. It doesn't feel genuine. Doesn't feel like it's being given the space to explore. So it just kind of feels like a plot device or a way to get more like drama into the book, and I don't appreciate that at all. I don't like that at all. So that made me, I don't know how to feel about that, and the fact that we just seem to be glossing over anything that happened and the way April feels about it, because she didn't really react to what her friend said, and then she's just hung out with Augustine more in day 13 and they've like still kissed and stuff. and it doesn't seem to have like changed the chemistry between them at all, which is, I don't know, it's just very strangely written, and the choices that have been made here are weird. Anyway, we are now actually on the 12-day countdown to Christmas, guys. Like, it is currently the 13th of December. Including today, we have 12 days to go, which means I promised you guys that after day... Oh, I don't have them on my iPad. One sec. I promised you guys that we would do a 12 days of bad reviews, and we are going to start today up until the 24th. Today I have what might possibly be actually one of my favourite bad reviews, because there's just a line here in here that's amazing, but because it's not 1 star, it's the only 2-star review in here rather than 1 star. I think I'm gonna have to do it as the first day and then go for like all 1 stars from here. Today's bad review is, I'm giving it 2 stars for the sheer fun of opening it every day, but they could have skipped the story and included chocolate instead, which is much easier to swallow than this book. Okay, I am very tired. I have read day 14 and I don't really have that much to say about day 14. I find it weird how against the relationship, the idea of the relationship her friend is, and like how vicious she is about it. But maybe that's just like, I've not been in that situation before and I'm not a teenager, so I don't know. Also, the start of the chapter kind of annoyed me because I feel like the insinuation that she has like loads of energy and is feeling so much better because she is like kissed or whatever Augustine when she has a heart condition is kind of offensive. Like, I don't think we should be suggesting that romance can help with like medical conditions. And maybe that's just how I read it, but anyway, I don't really have anything else to say, but I was going to share today's book review with you because, you know, 12 days of bad reviews for this book, day 11 or day 2, depending on how we're looking at it. I like this one. It's simple. It's 1 star. We're into the 1-star territory, and it says it was extremely bad. And right now I can't disagree. We'll see what day 15 brings. Okay, I have just read day 16. It is the 16th, unsurprisingly. I did not manage to update you guys yesterday. I'm finishing work late at the moment, and I tend to be reading this in the evening, so like after work, which means it's quite late, so I unfortunately didn't feel like going on camera yesterday. And funnily enough, yesterday's pages was the first time we actually got some kind of cliffhanger. And there was a small part of me that wanted to continue. It's probably the first time that this has happened. But day 16th has not been any better. Didn't really feel like there was really a payoff for the cliffhanger. I don't feel like anything surprising has happened, and I feel like this is as far-fetched as ever, and our main character is still a spoilt brat, and it's literally just stormed off to a room. So I don't really have anything else to update you guys on. Today's review is a 1-star, and it's important to remember that from time to time it is not a bad idea to upload this kind of thing to Wattpad and let it stay there on Wattpad. I agree. I have just finished day 17 and I have things to say. So in day 17 pages, 1, April, our main character, says lol out loud in capital letters, which I just feel like nobody's doing. Unless they're doing it in irony. Lol. Where is it? There it is. 2, they just like confess their love for each other. They don't know each other. Just getting my hot water bottle because it's cold. They don't know each other. Like, I get that they've known each other like however many years because it's her best friend's brother. But in a relationship sense, like, they have not been together. Like, they've been together for a matter of days. What I don't understand is there's this whole focus in the book, and this whole conversation happened in this chapter where she basically was saying she doesn't know how much she can trust that he's saying all these things, like, because everybody else is saying he's a player and he's been with loads of girls, and she's like, how do I know that I'm different? How do I know that you don't, you know, just want to sleep with me or whatever? And he is like confessing that he loves her and feels differently about her and stuff. And I'm not saying that that can't happen or isn't true, but what annoys me is the fact that we are not given a reason. We're not given anything to say that she is like different to other girls or that she's worth this. Like, why is he in love with her? I want to know what makes their relationship work. I want to know their personalities and what made them fall in love with one another, and what makes him think she's different to all the other girls that he's just not really cared about and just been with and not felt a connection with. Like, where is this connection? Because from what I've read, I know nothing about this man other than apparently he's good looking, because that keeps coming up. Apparently he's very good looking. Other than that, I know nothing about him. So, like, where is this coming from? I don't know. I think that's what's annoying me so much. Anyway, review for day 17. This is so true. Also, it's just so drama filled for like no reason. Day 17, it's a good one. Hallmark Christmas movie vibes, but instead it's a book written for preteens where the author goes more in depth about every argument April's ever had than the actual romance. It's fair. It is the next day, it is day 18. I am not reading late at night for a change, I'm reading before work, and I just finished my pages for today. Every day now is ending on a cliffhanger, like I don't know what's happened, it's crazy. I feel like nothing much has changed particularly. I don't really have that much to say. She's such a teenager, like the arguments with her parents and things like that, like I just can't. She's really making herself out to be so much younger than she is, because it's like the way she reacts to her parents. She literally stormed out into the street in this chapter and then started shouting at the air and openly acknowledged that she was shouting at the air in the middle of the street, which you should have seen my face when I reacted to that. Like, really gonna start like screaming in the middle of the street now as an 18-year-old? But there was part of this chapter where she talked about her past and the only other person she's like been with, and that did make me have a heart and feel for her for a little bit, because it did humanise her a bit, I guess, and she's obviously been through a lot of stuff before this book is set, so I don't know. Highs and lows of today's chapter. What is today's review? Let's see what we have today. The 18th. This is great. My essays in 4th grade had more cohesion. Probably mine too, won't lie. It is day 19. I can't believe how fast the days are going and how close we are to Christmas, but I've just read day 19's pages, and this was interesting. This was probably one of the better chapters so far, mainly I think because the younger characters came off maybe slightly better. There was a conversation between April and her dad in here where basically she's put herself in a situation where she's ended up in hospital and her parents are obviously holding it against her and her now boyfriend, apparently. And her dad says, "I'm upset with him. It's not because I hold him responsible, but because he wasn't brave enough to stand up to you. He didn't act like a man for like because he's saying, like the dad is saying, like he should have, the boyfriend Augustine should have stopped her from doing what she did to get herself in this situation." And she kind of like fights back against that and says, you know, that's not his responsibility, that's not what, you know, being a man should be about, that's like a stock phrase, and it doesn't have any meaning basically, and it's a dangerous phrase. And I feel like that conversation is probably the best thing I've seen come out of this book so far. Very occasionally it does come up with things that actually have some meaning behind them. Oh, day 19. I feel like, to be honest, all of these reviews are great, but the next one, very simple. Day 19. Don't waste your time. The only thing I have to say is that every chapter is like ending on a cliffhanger now, which is weird. The only other thing I have to say is that every chapter is like ending on a cliffhanger now, which is weird because there's like a part of you that actually wants to read on. I come to you after reading pages 20 and 21 on different days. I have managed to read these all on their respective days, which I'm happy about, but I have not updated you verbally since then. To be honest, I don't remember much about day 20 at all. I remember there being like one insanely strange comment, like just one line, and I cannot remember what that was. I don't know if this was the thing that was the insane comment or not, but she stormed off to her bedroom like a child at one point and then said if there had been a door I would have slammed it. That was the first time we've heard that there's no doors in this house, and I found that incredibly strange. But I don't know if that was the comment I wanted to make about that or not. And then I feel like most of days 20 and 21, to be completely honest, has basically been April arguing with her parents and acting very childish and acting in a way that I feel like possibly when I was like 14 I would have understood, and now as a 26-year-old I do not understand it, and I'm kind of on her parents' side. So there we go. I need to read day 22 and then I will discuss with you once more. I can't believe we are so close to finishing this book. It is insane. But yeah, my next task is to open and read day 22. I do need to share with you though the review for day 21. I know I put on the video about day 20. Oh, you know what? This is funny. I'm getting now into the days where I'm like acting like I actually have already finished this, but obviously I have not. Because day 21's review is, it's been worse than I expected. I feel like that still counts even though we're only on day 21 and we've still got 3 days to go. I think that point's still going to count on day 24. But also just throw back to day 20, which is only funny if you know what that translates to in English, but it did make me laugh and I had to include it at some point in this video. The only thing I feel I can say for this book as it's gone on is that this author now does cliffhangers. Like, that's kind of an improvement, I guess. Pretty much every day, every chapter now ends on some kind of cliffhanger, which I guess there is a part of me that is intrigued to at least read on, and I guess it at least plays into the idea that we can only read a chapter a day and you literally don't know what the next one is going to say. It's insane that the next one we're going to read is Christmas Eve 23 tomorrow. But yeah, I guess that's positively playing into the advent calendar concept of this book. As for 22, it was a drama-filled fanfic, extreme, our love interest, we thought for a while that he was dead, very, very drama-filled, and also April, the main character, made a very, very, very hurtful comment saying when she thought it was him that was in this avalanche, that she just wanted to find out that it was Jeff instead. I think, if I remember rightly, that Jeff was the guy with the white shirt who we mentioned earlier in the vlog that was being a bit creepy towards women. So I get it. But that's a really, really harsh thing to say, that you want him dead or you're hoping it was him in this like accident. So yeah, I don't have much else to say. So let's see what today's review is, day 22. And yes, we have 2 more reviews to go over after this. they all relate to the ending of this book and the feeling of ending this book, which I can't wait for that feeling. I can't believe I finished it, to be honest. I'm right there with you, my friend. Hi everyone, it is Christmas Eve. In fact, it is almost Christmas Eve because it's very, very late right now and it's nearly midnight and I really need to get to bed because I've been awake since 6:30 this morning. I really weirdly just realised that I have not opened several doors from the last few days on my chocolate advent calendar. I don't really know why. I know I've been really busy, but the fact I've not noticed and it's 3 days worth is really strange. Who knows? But anyway, I have just finally read today's pages. Just about managed to squeeze them into today's, like the actual day. And I don't feel like I have any thoughts, guys. I feel like I should. Things happened, but I just don't care, to be honest. And I feel like they're both acting like so naive and so young. I'm not shocked about any of it, and I just don't really care about any of it, which is a shame. I have one more day to go though, so glad about that. It feels like a very long time through reading a book that you just don't really care about, so let's see what today's review is. 1-star review. I know it's something about finishing the book, and I know I'll relate to it. I relate to this so hard. The only thing that I liked is that it was over. I'm gonna feel that so much tomorrow, and I can't wait. I am done reading this book and I'm very grateful for it too. Oh, this has been a bit of a slog, I will not lie, as you can probably tell from these videos, this video, these clips. It does feel like I've been reading this forever and I am quite grateful to be seeing the back of it, to be completely honest, because this has not been the best, as you can tell. So yeah, I'm glad I am done. I don't feel like I have a lot to say about the last chapter. It was very, very predictable. I'm surprised about one character that made a return, and we seem to have forgiven him, the kind of creepy guy, for like being the way he is, because he's had an accident, so like, you know, we don't want to be mean to him now. I don't know, that was the way that felt, but like other than that, it was very cheesy, cliche at the end. But I don't feel like I have anything new to add to this. All of my feelings still stand. I do feel bad for how much I've trashed this book in this video, like, but I do have to say that all the time, you know, this is my honest opinion. This is obviously only my opinion on this book, so it is not objective, but I do have to say that I don't think objectively this is very well written. Subjectively, you know my feelings on it, but that is obviously personal to me. Objectively, I still don't think this is a good book, to be completely honest, if I'm being very frank about it. So I don't know, take that as you will. But that's how I feel. The last review for this video is one that I very much feel in my heart right now, and it is simply, I am free. Which I do feel like I finally am free, and I'm very glad I'm free. And I honestly don't know if I'd have finished this book if it wasn't for the fact I was filming this video and wanted to obviously record my opinion for you guys every day, because if I didn't do that, I just don't think I'd have had the motivation to actually finish this. Even last night I was just so fed up with it, I was like, I don't even want to read the last chapter. But I'm glad that they were short and it was easy, and I want to be able to say more than that, but I'm not going to. Because I don't think there's much point. I think you guys know my thoughts and feelings. There we go. Thank you for watching this video that's been 24 days in the making. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'm really sorry for my like harsh opinions on this, but I hope it doesn't reflect badly on me as a reader. Obviously, as I said, very much my personal and honest opinion, so yeah, take it all with a pinch of salt. Go and read other reviews that are out there. Obviously I've provided some in this video, but some people love this book, and you might too. I will be donating this to a charity, and hopefully somebody will want to read it next year, even though I've like opened the envelopes. You could obviously, then somebody can buy it very cheap secondhand and still read it every day if they want to. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I will stop rambling. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. This is the end of Vlogmas, so also I feel like I should say before I go, thank you if you've watched any or all of my Vlogmas videos, and I hope you've enjoyed me posting a bit more. I'm probably not going to keep up this schedule because it's a lot around work as well, but I've really enjoyed having this like creative feeling back and being able to post more, so Vlogmas has allowed me to do that, which has been really nice, and I've enjoyed that, so thank you for bearing with me through that, and hopefully I can carry on posting a bit more as well. So anyway, I'm gonna go. Thank you for watching. Bye.